stage. You ought to hear what I'm saying. Success is a plan that takes years in the making. When nobody did, I believed. Had to let go of things I did not need. Cut off some friends in the process. What could I say? I could no longer carry the dead weight. Get off your ass, there's lots you can do. You wanna learn something and watch how I move, but they don't wanna do shit. They wanna be spoon-fed like a little baby. That shit is crazy, boy. Change up your mindset. I get 3 days worth of work done in just one. 727 mindset is the hustle for us. You get it?
Hey, I'm Alex Corona.
And I'm Jamie Burks.
And this is the 727 podcast.
And today we have a very special guest, our number one sales lady, Jackie Zepeda. And we need to know, we are asking her today all those vital questions with how the heck does she do it?
Hi guys, I'm Jackie with Corona Homes team. I'm a licensed realtor. Hola, soy Jackie de Grupo Corona. Soy una agente de bienes raíces licenciada. Mucho gusto. Hay que empezar.
So, Jackie, thank you so much for being here today. And
Thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
awesome. We're so excited to have you. We were going over our last month and we saw the numbers that Jackie's putting up, and it's incredible. It's incredible to see what this girl can do. She's very hardworking, and we thought to ourselves, like, who better to have as our next guest is Jackie, so that way she can tell you guys a little bit more about the real estate market, the journey she's been on, and if you guys are maybe looking to get into real estate or you're already in real estate, and I hear a lot about how the market is down. Well, she could let you know about how to create your own economy and what the market's really doing. What do you think about the real estate market right now, Jackie?
So the real estate market right now, it's crazy because I have the opposite thinking of what everyone else is thinking right now. I think it's great, and everyone else right now, like even like inspectors, appraisers, attorneys, like anyone in this industry right now does not think real estate is at its greatest part greatest peak right now. So I think real estate is doing great right now. I'm making lots of sales and it's doing great. The interest rates have gone down, so there is a lot of buyers and there's still a lot of movement going on, and there's still so much opportunities going on. But hearing from all my other peers and other people that I know that are in this industry, they are not doing so good. So that's why I question. I'm like, oh my god, because I feel bad when I have to tell them. I'm like, I'm doing great. I don't know about you guys, but it's good for me. So real estate, yeah, right now the market is booming.
I was on a call yesterday and I got asked the question, how's everything going? And they were talking about a few other things that aren't going so well. And it's going well. Everything is moving in the right direction. We're really tightening up everything around here, and our team is really starting to step up, and it's awesome. Last month we were out of town like more than 2 weeks, and
At least.
yeah, and
But you guys deserve it. Like after everything, it's okay.
well, it wasn't. It was.
It's nice to know that they can hold down the fort.
Absolutely,
I guess is what
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I have the time to do it? No, but I think to myself, like, I don't have the time to not do it because nothing's promised. You're not promised another day, another minute. So we have to do these things with the kids and make sure you make some memories with them, because ultimately this is what we're doing it for. We're doing it for our family, and I also do it for my team. I want to help them buy back their time, and that way they have more time to, spend with their families and do things as well. We've given our team more weeks vacation, more paid weeks vacation, so that way they can, and it's mandatory that they use it. Otherwise, they lose it.
You have to work hard and play hard too. Work hard, play hard. Absolutely.
We want our team to look forward to having some time off with their family. The guy that's standing behind the camera right now is going to Hawaii. I'm like, no, Hawaii.
Right.
Dude, like, how cool is that? Bro? And that's what we try to do around here is keep it, tight and treat everybody like family and make sure that everybody's being taken care of, and it goes a lot more than just them. We want to make sure that their family can feel it as well, that we care. We want to make sure they know we're here for them.
If you work a job that you love, you're never considered working. I guess is what they say.
Really quick though, on that call, that was one of the things that I did mention. I said, has it always been rainbow and sunshines? Absolutely not. And we were in complete turmoil last year was rough. It was the real estate market was a little harder. It was the rates were higher. There was less buyers, less sellers, a lot of uncertainty, and we still had to keep this office going. We had a lot of employees to pay, and we didn't lay anyone off. We kept working, even though there was months we're coming in, we're losing money, and we're still showing up every single day, suited and booted, and ready to do whatever it takes. And we're finally starting to see it, uh, where we're climbing out of this. I was gonna say hole, but it's like a ditch. Like this thing was. Oh my god.
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Right. So it's everything's moving in the right direction. Um, there's a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, but you got to keep going. Got to keep going.
I think it's fair to say that the three of us get approached a lot by people that say, like, I love real estate, I want to get into real estate, but it is no easy business to be a part of. So that kind of proposes me to ask you your first question. What were you doing before real estate, and what made you decide real estate is for you?
For sure, yeah. I did not know this was my passion. I did not know this is what I wanted to do. Before I was into real estate, which was now bringing me like 4 or 5 years back, because I have been with you guys since about 2020 or so. But I was in high school. When I first started, I was younger. I still am super young. But at that time, I did not know this is what I wanted to do. So I was in high school, and then I went into college right afterwards. I was at UIC. And then I didn't
know that. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize you went away to college.
Yeah, I went only for 1 year because that's the normal thing that everyone's doing. So I just went. I did the whole dorm life experience, and my parents paid for it, which was awesome. But I did see that they were spending thousands of dollars for me to go away to college, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I felt bad doing another 3 years of that to get a degree and not knowing what I wanted to do. So I kind of just stopped, and I did great in school. I always got straight A's, and I was on National Honor Society in college. So I do love school, and I love to learn, but not if it's not going to get me to somewhere, So I love to learn. I did the whole thing, but I was stopped, and then I went into just like working with my mom. She does have her own jewelry business, and she does have the entrepreneurial mindset and always has. So I kind of took from that. I did come from an entrepreneurial family, and my mom does have her own jewelry business. So she actually wanted to be a realtor before she started her jewelry business, and she did the whole class. She was about to take her test and was about to get the license, but she went into her business, which she thrives in that, which is great. But she always knew real estate was super important, and definitely whatever career path you are in, it's good to have real estate in your. And she seen that I had like the business mindset in me. I always like the concept of buying something and then selling it and making more money out of it and making profit. So I always like the profit and gains and like the business. So I always had side jobs, and like I worked with my mom and did the jewelry and the selling, but I didn't know what exactly where I could put that into where it is now today in real estate. So that's awesome. But she seen it. So she kept pushing me to do real estate, and she was like, do it, take the class. I got you. Well, just do that. We'll figure out where you got to work after. But at that point, I was like, what? Who's going to buy a house for me? Where am I going to get clients? Like, how is that all going to happen? Still didn't understand, but I kind of just she wanted me to do it. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it. She had to push me about at least like 10 times to take the class. Like, I was just like, no, Mom. I was a teenager. I'm like, no, Mom, no, Mom. So it was just like my mom telling me to do something. I'm like, no, no, no. But finally, I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'll go. So I ended up doing the class. I had a friend in that class. We would go get lunch together. I still didn't think I wanted to do real estate because my teacher, he was super old, and I did not understand anything he was saying, and I was just sitting there like, oh my God, what's going on? So I still didn't think I was going to do real estate until she then met Alice and Jamie Burks here, and that's awesome because they started talking, and she let them know, hey, I have a daughter that wants to do real estate, and she's getting her license right now. But they let her know, hey, she doesn't have to have her license right away. She can start training. We'll coach her, and she'll get paid hourly. She can start working with us, and then we can start. So at that point, I'm not an hourly worker. I'm a 24/7 hour worker. So at that point, I was not a 9 to 5 person. And then the fact that I had to go back, because I did have a 9 to 5 job like a long time ago. I worked at a hospital. So, but the fact that I had to go back into a 9 to 5, I was like, oh my God, I don't really want to do that so much. But my mom was like literally on the phone with him, and then she passed the phone to him. It was like, hey, can you come to an interview tomorrow at 1 p.m.? And I literally still remember the time. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go. I guess I'll go at 1 p.m. So it kind of was just like night and day after that. I have not looked back, and I've been here since. So I'm so happy that I did that. It was the best decision ever. I came to that interview, and I have been doing it ever since. So I was not a realtor right away. I was hourly working with you guys, and that was the best thing ever, I think, because I was able to learn so much about real estate and getting paid while doing it. And then once I did get my license, I was like, it was game time basically. I made a sale my first week. So like right when I got my license, I was selling houses like just cheeseburgers. So basically they're gonna put a cheeseburger thing on.
Cheeseburgers, hotcakes for everybody.
Yeah. So yeah.
You closed like I remember like 9 houses one of your first ones. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
right when I started, I was like on go time and game time mode. So yeah, I didn't know that's what I wanted to do, but my mom definitely pushed me. So I always have to thank her for pushing me to where I am today and who I am.
What did she finally say, or what did she do that like made you listen?
Yes, because a lot of parents, you have to remember, a lot of parents tell their kids like, you should do this or work for the family business, or but it's not always followed
Including
through.
my son.
Like, because if you
what did I say to my son?
If you were down
I
in
didn't
the
know what you
profession,
did, so I could do the same.
You gotta talk to her. Bring her on the podcast.
if you were, well, actually, what's funny about that is I met your mom first. I actually
Yeah.
went to a listing. I represented the client who owned the building of where her jewelry store was, and I have mad respect for her. I love your mom. She is a hustler.
You told me that too.
Yes. You were made for this. You come from an entrepreneurial family and things of that sort. But it's one thing for you to tell your kids like, do this. We encourage you to do that. Or a lot of kids don't work for their family businesses.
Did she like give you an ultimatum?
Yeah, she like you must do that track. Wow.
Like, what was it?
Like, what do you think that made you kind of follow along for this? Or maybe if it wasn't once you started doing, what is it that kind of attracted you to it more?
For sure. Yeah, so I honestly, like, there wasn't like a whole turning point. Like, I remember I was sitting at her jewelry store. Like, she always had clients coming in, and I'm just sitting there. I'm always on my phone. Like, I'm like scrolling through social media, and she's like talking to her client, like, yes, I want her to real estate. She's telling me to do it. And I'm like, oh my God, mom, no. But she basically was like, I'll pay for it. And so I was like, whatever, I'll just do what she wants me to do. So she put the funds for it. I don't know if she did end up paying for it, but like, so anyways, yeah. So she was like, I'll pay for it and then just go. So I was kind of just to make, I don't know, it was just to make her happy. It wasn't a one-time thing. You can't just tell your son or whoever you're one-time thing. Right. She had to keep telling me. She had to find the resources for me too, because she literally told me, she was like, I know where you're going to go to school. You're going to go here. That's where she went to. I know where you're going to work afterwards. She's like, I have a job opportunity set up for you once you get your license, so it's going to work. Or if you don't want to work there, there's so many other real estate companies that you could go to, but I know where you could go to right now. And if they don't want to hire you, you could go anywhere else. So she did have like everything set up for me. Like, I didn't have anything to do. She had the money set up for me. She had the class set up for me. She had the local.
Yeah, I remember her saying when I was standing in a jewelry store, she's like, my daughter's very young, but she's almost done with the class. Like, and I'm like, send her. She's like, but she's really young. I was like, send her. Like, absolutely, because whatever experience we could have given you at that time, you were going to utilize that when you became an agent. And clearly that shows. For you to literally be selling houses and going under contract and closing multiple deals in a month, right, fresh out the gate your first year, that, for me, I mean, I've been licensed since 2005. That your first year is the toughest, and actually you did very well.
There's a lot of realtors that I know, they don't make one sale in 1 year, they don't make a sale in 2 years, or they end up dropping out because they can't make any sales. So I am very thankful for where I am and where I was put into, because like you said, how did it finally motivate me to get to like where I am, or what pushed me was basically her kept pushing me, giving me the resources, and then I finally started here, and then I was still like, okay, what's going on? But literally, I think after the first day, I was like, this is what I, like, once I started working here with you guys, I was like, this is what I want to do. I don't know why, but no, I do know why. It's because I seen the hustle, I seen the work, I seen like, this is like, just everything I wanted to do. So I was like, wow, I didn't know it was this. Like, when she was explaining it to me, like, it was just like, okay, go get a job, sell houses. But I was like, I don't know who I was going to sell a house to. But once I started working with you guys and I seen all the opportunities, I was like, wow, this is it, actually. So you guys did motivate a lot of my decision making into why I stayed and like why I wanted to do real estate.
How many houses did you sell your first year?
My first year, I think it was about 42 houses
I thought it was in the 40s. Because I remember like collecting that number. I was like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, how do you do it? Like, you have consistently, like, literally, the one thing is, like, everybody could be a one-hit wonder, yeah. But to consistently stay on top month after month after month, how do you do it? Are there any
salesman of the what?
universe? Sales of the week, sales of the day, sales of the week, sales of the month, sales of the year. I mean, how do you think, is there any success stories that you can share that really allow you to make sure that you consistently sustain that position?
Yeah, no, I know you guys know a lot about that too already. So, but I definitely want to share with everyone else. So I mean, it is a lot, honestly, and sometimes I even think, how do I do it, or how am I going to do it? Because it is a lot on my plate sometimes, and it can get very overwhelming. But at the end of the day, I love what I do and I enjoy it. So if I didn't enjoy it and I didn't love it, then I don't think I would be here, because I wouldn't wake up wanting to do it. So my clients are my number one priority, and real estate is always on my mind.
I have actually received 3 a.m. text messages from you about deals, like literally questions, like, so do we have this? Do we get an answer on that? Like something about inspection, like literally in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they're literally on my mind. I don't know if I was dream texting her or what, because I have,
which is okay.
Yeah, I've dreamt about selling houses. Like, I'm not even kidding. No, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding you. I have dreamt about it. I'm like showing houses in my dreams. Like, I'm selling houses in my dreams. So it is everything it's always on my mind. I'm like kind of manifesting it, but at the same time, I'm putting the work in, I'm putting the effort in. So it all plays a part into what it is. And then my clients are my number one priority. I know they are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars with me, and I know this might be the biggest transaction of their history or their life. So I do value that so highly, in the fact that they trust me so much. So I try to, give back times 100, or give them back what I can, and all my effort and myself to them, because I know that they're giving me their whole trust and everything into me, to their whole transaction. So they are my number one priority. It's always on my mind from the minute I wake up. Literally, I'm excited to go to sleep so I can wake up and do more deals. I love Mondays because that's the start of the week, but I love weekends too, because I can catch up. But I can't not do it, basically, because it's always with me.
So here, as we mentioned before, real estate, I mean, sales in general, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and there's good times and bad. So how do you deal with conflicts, struggles, disappointments, lost deals? Like, what are you doing to get you through that time? Or you're just like, screw this, I'm throwing the towel.
Yeah.
Real estate's not for me. Like, what do you do to make sure that that's something that you consistently get to the finish line with the client?
So I never let like anything think like, okay, real estate is not for me, because I know what I have accomplished, and like in the little time that I have accomplished it in. So that, to me, like, I'm like, I know who I am, and I'm like, I could do this, I've done this, so why am I gonna like give it up all for just this little thing? So I can never give it all up, but there's so many, like I said, it's not easy, it does get overwhelming, and there are some times where I'm like, what am I going to do? And you could, you find yourself very upset for things.
So when you're going through struggles, or you're going through conflicts, or deals fall apart, like, is there something about our culture and how we are that helps you through that? So like, how do you deal with disappointments? How do you deal with things that kind of like fall through the cracks? Like, some agents get a few deals under contract, and then let's say that all of them fall apart. What motivates you to know that that's not something you just want to, like, you know what, I give up?
Right. And then I always think that I'm like, because I had a few agents that I was like helping and I was training, and they lost a few deals. And I'm like, don't let that get you down. Like, I literally lost, like, not specifically today, but there's been deals, sometimes days, where I've lost like 3 deals in one day. And I'm like, oh my God, But I have so many in my back pocket as well. The business is still going, and you can still find them another property, but you can't give up, because things are going to happen. And
I think that's key. I think it's key to have the volume. Have the volume. Like, it's not just, I'm not going to depend on one deal to close. If you have the volume of clients and the support and things like that, I think that helps with kind of getting into like sticking with it.
Right, because it definitely, there will be difficulties and struggles, and you sometimes want to stop doing it, but at the end of the day, it's like there's still so much more to do, and there's still so much more clients, and everyone needs help. So
I can't tell you how many realtors that I've seen, even personally, right in front of me, that have been so close to like making it happen, and they give up. They're right there. They've put all the work
so much
in.
potential.
They put all the work in. They quit their job. They did whatever the hell they had to do. They burned every bridge. They came to do this, and then for some reason they were like right there, and they gave up. They started to feel that pain, because there will be times, just like Jamie said, it does get a little difficult. There is times you lose deals. You did a bunch of work, and at the end of the day, you didn't get paid. It's like shit. But if you got that constant deal flow, you don't feel it as much. So it's like, okay, that deal, busted, but like Jackie said, you hang on to that client, you still can sell them in the future. At the end of the day, the client knows that you did everything in your power to make the thing happen, and for some reason it didn't. It's okay because you were right there with them the whole entire time, and you pick your big boy pants up and you go do it again.
Yeah, there's been some clients that I've gotten under contract a few times. I didn't give up on them and they didn't give up on me. Or some clients that I got under contract and I stopped looking and then they came back a year later or so. You have to keep following up, keep in touch with them, and really kind of just know what their needs are. So it's not about us, it's all about them basically. So what are their needs? Where are they trying to get to? And why is it that they're trying to get there? So once you figure all that out, it's kind of a no-brainer and you know what exactly you have to do and when you are able to make the sale and when you could give them all the help that they can. So kind of just figure out where they're at and then you're able to make it and make it happen.
One thing I see from Jackie is she literally has a document. I don't know what the hell it's called. But
it's called a Microsoft Word document.
Okay, but she has her very first client on there up until her last. I mean, they're all on there. Exactly what's going on, where they're at, what situation is going on. She doesn't forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one of the many things that I love about you is that regardless of how much time you spend on a client, there's never a time where if a deal falls apart, where you go out in the field and you're like, how much money am I making? How much time did I spend? You're never penny pinching anything. You're
it doesn't matter.
You're literally I'm gonna get these people under contract and I'm gonna get them sold. I don't care if I've spent more time than money that I'm making. It's getting it to the finish line is what's most important to you. And I think in terms of having a realtor represent me, I mean, you can represent me in a real estate deal because you are gonna work until the job is done. And that's one of the things that
I'm gonna negotiate it the hell out.
And going back to your Microsoft Word, it's called. Going back to that, you will literally have a client that's been on that list 3 years ago, and I see them under contract today. So you just don't give up.
I do not give up. So, and then honestly, I give thanks back to you guys. Seriously, I know it sounds cheesy and cliche, but everything that I think and know, a lot of it comes from you guys, from all of our training and all the coaching and everything. So the way I think is because of kind of how you guys. So I know it has helped a lot because you guys say all of these things. It's if you're starting realtor, we can't be looking, oh, I don't want to go show that $50,000 house, or I don't want to go show that $70,000 house. It's so cheap. I want to show $1 million house. I've never thought like that.
Right.
When I was first becoming a realtor, I never looked at what the amount of the house was. I just said, keep going, appointment after appointment. It doesn't matter how much it is. Just help as much people as you can and the most volume that you can do, and that
people get very tied up in that. How much money am I making? I mean, we see that with the new law change too. Is your client paying?
I see it now.
Yes.
How much money am I making?
It's
what's the split? What's everything? But I never looked at that because I'm just trying to help as most people that I possibly can, and I think it all comes back. I honestly believe in as much as you can do for people and the most that you can do, it will all come back, and it will come back extra. Yes.
So powerful. I love that.
It's all about putting in the effort. There's literally real estate karma. You put the work in. There's lots of times you're gonna see that nothing's happening. You're gonna be like, man, I keep doing all this work. I'm making all these phone calls. I'm sending all these appointments. What is going on? Keep going.
If you could give advice to anyone who just got into real estate, anyone who's struggling in real estate, or maybe anyone who wants to get into real estate.
How about we start there? If you're looking to get into real estate.
Any sort of advice that you would think.
If you're looking to get into real estate, for sure, I would say, honestly, the way that I did it was and I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing it, but I did it the right way, I think, because where I am. But get onto a team or get next to a top producer, because when I started, I was literally the assistant of top producers. So what only could I become is a top producer. Get next to the right people, get in the right circle. Once you're next to people that are doing what you want to do, what only can you become is what they are. If you are listening to them and you are coachable and you're able to be trained, and it only can go up from there and leveling up. So I would recommend to get on a team, because it literally scares me, not where I'm at today, because I know we have sometimes new realtors start with us. They do not know anything, and that's okay. You're starting. I did not know anything. They're first time buyers. So when there's a first time buyer, I try to treat them as much as I can, because we were all there one day. We were first time buyers. So they don't know anything, just like agents. They do not know anything, first new agents. So it scares me when they're not on on a team and they're by themselves, how are you a new agent showing somebody how to buy a house? Because how do you, know what's going on? So that honestly does scare me if they're not on the right team or however, because I was able to go to the right resources, and if I had any questions, go to the right people. But if you don't have anyone around you or anyone you can ask questions to or anyone that can give you the help, I don't know how they are able to guide someone into the biggest transaction of their life. So that's why it's scary to me. But definitely join a team and get around the right people and get around the people that are doing where you want to be.
And we appreciate that too, because as we have new agents who join the team, I always overhear you telling them, like, even just so basic things. Oh, you got to do this or you got to do that. So that's such a week. Last week we did a podcast on abundance. Like really sharing your knowledge and helping people, and you do that every single time. Like there's never a time where a new agent starts where you're like, oh, the deals are for me. Like you're literally telling them how to get successful. Like you're helping them grow.
And I help.
Yes, and that's a huge help to us too, because then we don't have to really sit there and take them by the hand like you and everybody else that you're helping is just like, that's awesome, that's great, and you're paying it forward. I guess
exactly.
That's what you got to do.
Yes.
When you start getting up there, you got to start pouring back into people so that way.
I'm thankful you guys poured it into me, so I'm pouring it all into them, what you poured into me. And I do have a few realtors on your team that they have their first deals with me. So I think it was about 3 or so.
Really
so
long.
That's awesome. There's no better. I mean, here the people who run the company, own the company. I mean, I don't even feel that because you guys are all our partners. But of course, we're going to be, sitting here and telling everybody here how to do this or that. But what better way to hear about it than from an agent who's actually, you're a perfect example of like what's possible. Absolutely.
You have to be coachable.
You do.
I know, like, you used to play volleyball, right? So,
a long time.
I didn't know that either.
If you've ever been on a sports team and you've been coached, you know how it is. You got to listen to the coach. He's like telling you what you got to do, and it's the same thing here. A lot of people, their ego gets in the way, and they start to think like, just like this weekend, there was a few people I was talking to, and they just know better. They don't need to hear anything. They, and that to me is like dangerous. It's like the people that know everything, that don't need to hear anything, that have all the answers. That shit's dangerous to me because I'm looking for answers. I'm constantly looking to grow. I'm like a super live document that's always changing. And looking to do everything better. I'm always looking for that extra second I can save or a more efficient way I can do something. But it's scary when people don't want to hear it. And I'm like, dude, here, I'm trying to explain to them, give them the game. And they're like, no, I know. And they already know everything I'm going to say. So I just stopped talking and when I actually can't wait till somebody tries to give me some game. I shut the fuck up and I listen, especially if somebody's trying to take the time out of their day to give me a second of, and help me out. I'm gonna stop and listen and take notes even.
I remember when I was first starting and I would go like on showings with Alex, I would just always be listening and I would barely say one word. I would just probably say hi to the clients, how are you guys, and like not say too much. And I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Like I don't even need to pay me. Like am I doing the wrong job? Like what's so I didn't know how I was doing the right things. Like you are doing exactly what you need to be doing. Just listening and taking it all in. And he was right. I didn't at that time. I was like, what? No, I feel like I'm not doing it right. And like I was like, I'll work more. Like you don't have to pay me. Like I'll work from like literally when I started, I was already like I want to work the whole day. But like I just didn't know if I was doing the right thing. But that's what I was doing, was taking it all in, listening and getting coached. And I was just like I felt like I wasn't doing enough because I wasn't talking, but it wasn't my time to talk at that time. So no, it is. Yep.
Super smart to be in your 20s and to understand that sales really is like 90% listening.
Yeah.
So the listening portion of it is where you really can connect with the clients and find out what they're looking for so you can help them.
Yeah.
So with you being in real estate for like 4 years now, I'm sure you've heard about a lot of other agents on other teams and different brokerages. What would you say our team here does different than other teams or other agents you've talked to that I'm sure are trying to recruit you?
Oh yeah, they are. Oh yes, they are.
Right. They see all the sales.
They're
But
coming. I know. I got it.
right, but then at the end of the day, I'm like, it all is thanks to you guys. Like I said, I know it's not so.
She says that all the time, and I tell her, I'm like, bro, you had to put the work in. At the
Yes.
end of the day,
Yes,
we
for
do
sure.
the same thing for everybody. And at the end
That's
of the
true,
day,
You,
it's
you
like
can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
you're the one that does all the work. It's
Yeah.
like, here, I pour into everyone, and it's like, we all have the same license, all have the same job. It's like, what are you doing with it? That's the difference.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So I definitely had that question before. I definitely had people ask me like, why are you, sticking with them? Why so loyal to them? But honestly, it's because I started here and I don't know what other teams are like, but I kind of have a gist of what other teams are like because of what other realtors have told me and what's going on in the industry right now in the market. So to me, that's like so different because I'm like, I'm so busy. I'm working, so like come and work with me. We can do business together, but I just don't understand how other companies are not doing it because of how we're doing it. But you guys kind of just run it differently. Basically, I mean, there's clients that just walked out right now. There's probably clients that are coming in right now. So you guys keep us super busy. There's leads all the time, and I do get a lot of repeat business with a lot of our clients that we have had and leads that you guys have provided. So I feel like just like all the coaching and the training that you guys, we literally train every single day. We coach every single day, or we are on meetings every single day. We're so in touch with each other. So I know other teams, they don't really, relate that much or they're not in touch at all the time. So we do talk to each other every single day and figure out what's new on the market, what's new in the real estate industry. And we're learning from each other every single day. And then also with all the help that you guys give with coaching and training and then the leads as well.
I love that.
Wait,
and that's actually funny. No, that's perfect.
One of the things,
It's literally they called to recruit her, and then she just starts talking, and she's like recruiting them.
Yeah, so I have had that question, and I have recruited some people as well because they were not doing well in their company and they weren't getting what they needed. And everything that they have told me that they needed was, I was like, you will get that here. They didn't have the communication. They didn't have the right business tools, the resources to get to the next step and get to the next level. Yeah. So there was so much support that was here. So I was like, wow, you're definitely going to level up. And then I have seen it. I have recruited and right away, they got a few deals under their plate and they've been doing it for longer than I have. So I have been licensed since January 2021. So I've been licensed for 3 years, almost 4. But the good thing that definitely helped is I was licensed I was working here a whole year before I was licensed. So that helped out. But what you guys definitely provide is all the training and the coaching and to caring about all of us and making sure that we are making deals. And if not, we have you guys to make the deal for us. But yeah,
that's awesome.
We're always down. I always tell them I'm down to go on any appointment with them. I'm down to make any phone call for you. Anything I could do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm here. I work for you guys, so let me know what I got to do to make you guys successful. And we try to think that way. I always think to myself, what did I need on the sales side when I was if I worked for a company, like what would I want for my company to do for me to keep me successful, keep me in the production quadrant, and keep me making money instead of bogging me down with everything else. And that's the way we think, is like, what kind of support can we give our agents? What kind of services and resources can we give them so that way they can provide our clients with the most incredible real estate experience they've ever had and keep coming back, because we want to be your realtor for life.
So Jackie, you are absolutely killing it. I just couldn't be more proud of you. I need to know, what is your 5-year goal?
Yes. So I thought about that 5 years back. And I'm like, where do I want to be? So I did think about that 5 years back and I was like, where do I want to be today? I've always wanted like units and units and units. I just want so many properties and to be living off the properties. So right now I'm kind of on go mode. Like I literally put clients before me eating sometimes. So sometimes I literally will have to put an offer in or have to show properties. Everything's back to back to back. I have to meet with a client, appointments, negotiate a deal before I can even eat, and then I can finally eat. So I am trying to manage that better so I can keep myself I can keep myself healthy. But I don't want to be there for the rest of my life, obviously. But right now that's where I am at. So I mean, if you do want the rest experience right now, call me. But so yeah, so right now, 5 years back, it was like units and units and units and properties and properties and properties. But I was so indulged in my clients, so I could barely even look for myself and like barely even like be caring about what's going on with me. I was more into them, but I did always like my dream was to just have so many properties and have that pay off, and I don't have to work anymore. I think that's everybody's goal. So anyways,
Cash
now,
flow, baby.
yeah, cash flow. So now at this point, that's the same thing. Yeah, I did eventually end up getting a building.
Okay, hold on.
Building.
Back it up a little bit. You are in your early 20s and you own a building.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Also, thanks to you.
That
Thanks
is
to you,
awesome.
bro.
Yes,
Hey,
absolutely. No matter how much
You
help
have
we
to pay your
give,
bills. You're
uh,
has to do the work.
congratulations on that. To be a young investor is something that if I could turn back the time, clearly I would have done that a little earlier in life.
She's a
And
great
that's just
landlord.
amazing.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Knows
so
what
that's
time
great.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah. So
And
it is.
you're buying your first home right now, right?
Yeah, so I do have the 4-unit building. I always would recommend to buy a building first because then afterwards you can buy a single family and put a low down payment. But I am buying a single family now, so that was my goal, to get a building first and then buy a single family. Luckily though, with the building, I didn't actually have to pull out a loan. It was a subject to type of deal. So I could have still bought another building and did the whole thing, but I didn't go.
The fact that you know that term at this stage in your life and your real estate career is awesome. I'm literally in my 40s and I just learned it. So
Yeah,
that's
21.
great. Yeah,
21.
right. I forgot 21. Yeah, that's right.
So
But
yeah.
Times
that's
two.
great. That is great. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I am buying a house right now where I do plan to live now, but after that, I am planning to buy another building and then another building and then just keep going up. So my 5-year goal is just to have so many units and so many properties, but still be helping as much people as I can, and also just recruiting as many people as I can and recruiting agents and putting them into the position where I am today. Because at one point I was a first-time agent. I still consider myself a new agent. I'm still learning so much.
Time flies.
Yes, it does. I'm still learning so much, and I still every day I'm learning from you guys and other people in the industry. So I still consider myself new, but I definitely want to recommend new agents and recruit them and help them become a top producing agent, just like I am myself today, because that was done with me. So I want to give back.
What do you think it takes to become a top producer?
I guess just putting in the work and the effort and being consistent and following up and caring and being real, honestly, in your business. So I am super real with my clients. I know that they see that as well because they trust me, and I do get a lot of repeat business and referrals because they see that I am there and looking for the best for them and trying to make them have the best real estate experience possible. So I think being consistent, following up, caring, and being real with the real estate transaction and just find the best outcome for them. So
Well said.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. We're so grateful for you. Thank goodness to your mom that pushed you to get that real estate license.
Yeah.
We are just so happy to have you. You are such an asset to our team. We love to see you grow. You're awesome.
I know you. Where's Angelo?
Yeah. So we want to introduce you another one of our guys here that works here at Corona Realty Group, and yeah, he's another big reason why we're where we're at today. This dude stops at nothing to make sure that all these events that we have are tip top and ready to go, so that way when people show up, they're being treated as best as we can. And he also has set the standard of what it takes to be around here and take care of our clients. The second they walk to that door, they feel like they're right at home.
Oh, you got popcorn and water without even asking for it.
Angelo, look at that, baby.
Angela's been with us since we began, 10 years, right? Decade. You've been with us for a decade.
Come over here, bro. Come over.
Bestie.
Here, I'll share my seat with you. Right here. So we got Angelo, employee of the century over here.
Yeah. Mr. Blue Island.
Yeah. So we just wanted to introduce you guys to him. Tell us a little bit about working here, Angelo.
Well, first of all, I like working here, and like Alex said, everybody comes in here, I offer some popcorn and water and everything, and these guys are the best because these guys are my family right here, and
Thanks, bro.
I've been working for like a long time, but I don't know how long, but
A decade.
a decade. So,
10
I
years.
come in, I do what I
Angelo,
gotta do.
Angelo actually spent the night at our house last night. Him and his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, they spent the night. We hang out and
Yeah.
we did some
We did
crafts
crafts
with the
night. Yeah, we
kids.
made crystals with the National Geographic little craft thing.
Which kind of shows how you guys run this business. It's a family-oriented business more than business. Like I've stayed at their house many times too. But yeah, they're all about helping us.
No doubt about it.
And then also, I come in every morning and like, when they're not here, I just, take care of everybody what they gotta do. But
Angelo's the reason we're able to go out of town and make sure that this place doesn't get burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
I told him the last time that Angelo is Alex's best helper. I mean, his best partner. I would call you. Oh, you're really not a helper.
Love this
You're
group, all right.
a partner. You actually, I feel like you came with Corona Realty Group because it's like we
as soon
opened
as
and
we
you like
opened the
popped in
door-
our office.
Yeah, as soon as
Yeah.
we opened the door to our office, he like came in.
Yeah.
And
We're like, you hired. Okay, sounds good.
I've known Angelo since like 7th grade, so I've known or 6th grade or something like that. I've known him a pretty long time, and so when we opened up and he came through the door, I didn't know what the hell this guy was going to do for us. I just knew that I liked his energy and I wanted to be around him. He keeps me motivated. He keeps me happy. He's always singing songs, and he's got about 7,000 different kinds of boom boxes. I'm not even kidding. He's got like every different kind of boom box you can buy, and he always has music playing. So
Always down to learn new things. He's been on the phone for us. He calls it the leads like his hat says. His hat says call it.
Yeah, it doesn't say me.
And the list that Alice gave me when he was out of town for 10 days, I called every single one on that list.
You invited them to
I
a Halloween
invited to a party, everything. And then, like I said, man, I'm not afraid to talk on the phone. And I'm not afraid to, talk to anybody because, I mean, if they have me a list to call people, if they want a house to rent or buy a home, I can help them do that because I'm not even going to have to be, amazing. I know how to do that kind of stuff.
So that should speak like tons of volumes, especially if you're like in real estate or you're in any type of sales or you're anything on the phone. If you got Angelo here, who has absolutely no training whatsoever in any type
Other
of
than being
sales.
around us.
Yeah, he grew to the conversations around him, just being around us, and he's not scared. He had to call like 500 people to invite him to one of our events, and he ran through that list like that. He did one right after the other, and I would hear him on the phone. It was awesome. No one would hang up on him.
No.
Everyone,
he's genuine. You feel
just,
the love through the telephone.
It was this
line.
tonality, like the people just like literally listened to his whole spiel. He like invited him to 3 different events, and the best part is, man, they were packed. Every one of these things. I don't know if they came because Angelo called or they were really coming, but the man is down to do whatever. He's he's been there for everything. I can't tell you. He was here for when our last kid was born. And Jamie's having a baby on the lake, and this dude literally sang the whole way to the hospital.
But then you were parking the truck, so he walked me up in the wheelchair.
They thought Angelo was the dad.
I love it. Even when Jackie started to get she's always super busy, but when she started to get a little overwhelmed, I wrote like a little note card for Angela. I was like, Angela, be Jackie's manager and tell her like, Jackie, did you send out all your intro emails? Jackie, did you do this? So he gives her friendly reminders of things because he's here late and he's here until the job's done.
And he's here with me too all the time, so I do appreciate him as well. He's a lot of help.
And like I said, man, if this place was open for 24 hours a day, me and Jackie are still here until 2 a.m. in the morning. Trust me.
Yep.
Trust me. If this place was open at all, trust me, we'll get the joint done whenever we leave this office.
Yeah.
One person that definitely, I would say is the definition of Corona. It's this dude. This dude is down to do anything for the team at any time. Whether it's put out signs for open houses, whether it's go door knocking for the open house.
For all the agents. He's
Yeah, for
always
all
done
the
it.
agents.
Friday night,
Doesn't matter
Saturday,
who it
doesn't
is.
matter when it is. Yep.
Yeah, this dude's down
ready.
to, help anyone at any time, clean out any house, move anything.
Yeah.
The guy's got the strength of like 10 men, and he's not afraid to use it.
No.
But we love you.
If this guy had 10 Angelos, he'll be a sin. I tell him that all the time. I tell him that all the time, man. If I could have 10 Angelos, man, I wouldn't need nothing else. I could take on the whole world with it. 10 of them. That's all I need.
Well, we love you, Angelo. We love you, Jackie.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Love
We're
you.
so grateful for the
If-
both of you.
If there was somebody that was wanting to work here, what would you tell him, Angelo?
I would tell them to do a great job, and you know, it's like when you walk in the door, you just do what you got to do and do your work.
Would you tell him to work here?
I would tell them to work here. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell everybody, you should work here. This is a really good team to work for. I mean, especially with these guys. These guys, Alex and Jamie are the best. So if you want to work here, just come on the door, work here, do what you got to do, and be an agent, sell houses.
In all these years that you've been here, do you think we take good care of the agents and everybody that
Yeah,
works
we
here?
do. Yeah, I think you do. You do take care of the agents all the time when you guys are here. Yeah, you do. I mean, if they're not doing their work, you gotta tell them, hey, you're not doing anything right. You gotta tell them, hey, if you don't want to work here, then you don't want to work here. I mean, you take care of Jackie here. I mean, Jackie's been your partner for what? How many years?
4
now?
years. 4 years.
So
Yeah.
she's doing good. I mean, all the other agents, they need to be like her. Like, hey, you need to do your work. And then you guys are just telling them what to do. I mean, you guys go into meetings every Tuesday, and you're like, oh, you gotta do this, gotta call damn leads and stuff like that.
I gotta stay up to date.
Because every time I go to this place, it's like, it's always busy. Because I like that. Because these guys,
They guide us in the right direction.
yeah, they guide us in the right direction. And I'm like, man, I mean, like Alex said, I mean, it's like I walk down the street. I'm like, hey, you know what? I need to work somewhere. I need to be coming here. I need to, I want to work when I want to work. Yeah, I want to be with family. 'Cause these people are like my family right here. It's like she's like my sister. They're like my,
Mom and dad.
mom and dad. And
Even though he's older than us.
right, exactly, right.
You're doing a great job, son. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I mean, every day I get up in the morning. Like I said before, I get up in the morning. I'm normally usually not on time, but I get up. I got to be 7, but I'll be on time every day. So it's like I like working here. Every time I get up in the morning, you guys gotta come in here. You gotta be like, hey, you gotta come to work with us. It's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
It's fun. It's like
a game.
It's a game. It's like you gotta
Like a party.
yeah, party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the events that we have?
Oh, the events that you guys have, they're awesome. The wine tasting, the Halloween party, and it's like the Halloween party was awesome. I really liked that. It was the best. Well, come to the wine tasting. It's a good.
Coming soon.
It's a big one. That's a granddaddy of them all.
December 7th.
December
7th.
If you register, make sure that door quick.
Yeah.
Jackie, how can somebody get a hold of you to try and get a hold of you?
Of course, yeah. So if you guys want to get a hold of me, the best way to contact me is calling. Do not text, do not email, but if you have to, I will get to it eventually. 708-295-2727. If I change my number, I will let you guys know. And then Facebook, Jackie Zepeda, JackieZepeda.
How about you, Jamie? How can somebody get a hold of you?
Best way is cell phones. Call or text 708-259-6242. Jamie Burks, Birks.
How about you, Angelo? How can somebody get a hold of you?
Come to Corona.
Come to Corona, and if you need your house cleaned out, just give me a call at 708-632-1317. If my number changes, I'll let you know.
Phone's going to be blowing up.
All right, Alex.
And I'm Alex Corona, and this is 727 Podcast. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah. I'ma need you all to hear what I'm saying. Success is a plan that takes years in the making. When nobody did, I believe. Had to let go of things I did not need. Cut off some friends in the process. What could I say? I could no longer carry the dead weight. Get off.